Hi, I'm Fridrik Tiedemann, the director here at CG Jordan, and I want to give you a lesson today on how letters change, the pronunciation of Arabic letters change from Fusha, which is the modern standard Arabic, to Ammiye, which is the language that is spoken, the spoken Arabic language, and that is for here in Jordan and Palestine. Okay, they are going to differ a little bit in the Levant. If you go up to Lebanon, for example, you'll see more extreme changes in letters, and also in Syria. But let's look at it. You have the word thalatha, which is Fusha for three, the number three. Thalatha becomes talate, talate, not talata, but talate. So talate as a number, rakam, is talate in the Ammiya language. So even the ta marbuta changes the pronunciation from a to a. And also, of course, the tha changes to a ta. Now, this doesn't happen in all letters, all words in the spoken language. It only happens in certain words. So they just have to be memorized or understood from the dialect as you experience them. But you will encounter changes like this when you come to the Levant. Everyone says talate. They do not say thalatha. All right? Unless you're talking about Yom Talata, which is always the ta mabuta remains a and not a. But for the number three, talate. Then you have the letter Dhal. The letter Dhal from dhakkar, which means he reminded someone. He reminded, dhakkar, becomes zakkar. Zakkar. So the Dhal also does change many times to a zain. And then you have the letter Dha. Dhal. Dhal, it means he remained or stayed. Becomes Dhal. Dhal. بدي الضل هناك يعني 4-5 أيام. So Dhal becomes Dhal. But here's the thing about the letter Dha. The letter Dha also can change to a zain. Although it does less often changes, it does change sometimes. For example, the word dhan, which is like he thought, okay, dhan, badhan, changes to zan, bazan. Now, some people will pronounce the Dha, but some people will pronounce the zain. But the zain is also the Dha can change to zain. But more often you're going to see Dha changing to Dha. And Dha may remain in the word. Okay, so it doesn't always change, it just depends. Now you have another one here from Tha. The Tha can also change from, for example, Mathalan to Masalan. But, and this is why I put this at the end here, is that the word mithal, all right, which is actually from the exact same word, it's just one is adverbial and one's not, is mithal becomes mithal. It stays mithal. It doesn't become misal here in Jordan or in Palestine so much. What you are going to see, though, is when you go up to Lebanon, if you're in Lebanon or Syria, you will hear misal. So, not only will they say masalan, but they will also say mathalan. So, not only will they say masalan, but they will say misal as well. So, one last thing. Sometimes you'll see letters, actually, the pronunciation letters change across the board, almost across the board. And this happens with the letter Qaf, for example. The Qaf the Qaf now becomes like a sound, which is the emphasis is on that hamze, or it may, which is a glottal stop, or it may take a g sound, which we don't really have an Arabic letter for that. It's, some people, the jim, like a g, but the qaf can be gal, for mostly men say this, they say gal, gelli, gal, or al. قال he told me. Alright? So, it just depends on the person speaking. If you're going into the cities, usually you'll see the qaf becoming an okay? But then, even in the cities, there are men, Jordanian men, typically the more Bedouin, from the Bedouin backgrounds, who will say gal. But the more Palestinian background, especially if you go to Lebanon, you hear this more, that everything, the qaf almost always becomes Now, there are some circumstances, though, where the qaf will remain qaf. For example, words like maqal, for example, which would be from a newspaper, maqal. This would not change. It would remain as the qaf it is. It doesn't, you wouldn't pronounce it with a glottal stop like the hamza or g. It would remain a qaf. But mostly the qaf will change, one either ga or Some guys ask me, well, what should I do? Should I say ga because a lot of the men are saying ga, or should I say like most of the women do? And then some, of course, people from Palestine and even some Jordanians say but not many. And that just depends on you. It doesn't matter. I, for one, I pronounce it usually but there are sometimes, in some situations, where I'll start pronouncing the qaf with a ge. So, but what you need to be mindful of is that these letters do change, and the pronunciation of them will change to other letters. So that's an important thing to know about the Ammiya language.